I saw the chair before I saw the sign. It was not even part of the arranged rows, just a metal folding chair placed a little apart from the last line of white-covered seats, close enough to count, but far enough to be forgotten. The restroom doors were right behind it. My name was printed neatly on a small card taped to the back. I stood there for a moment, looking at the rows ahead. Our second cousins from out of state were sitting in the third row. My sister's college roommate's boyfriend had a clear view of the aisle. I felt a hand touch my arm. The maid of honor leaned closer and lowered her voice. She said, "You'd be fine back here." Fine. She did not want any tension in the front rows. She said it like she was explaining the weather. I nodded slowly. Of course, it was not surprising, just confirming things. My sister and I have always had a careful relationship, close when we were children, competitive as teenagers, and distant as adults. She once told me I had a way of making things about myself just by existing differently. I had flown in for this wedding. I booked a hotel nearby. I spent weeks choosing a gift I thought she would truly love. Not flashy, not something given just out of obligation, but thoughtful. I walked down the aisle to the reception hall before the ceremony started. The cake table stood near the center, covered in white and gold layers. I placed the wrapped box carefully beside the others. I fixed the ribbon once without thinking. For a moment, I imagined sitting in that folding chair, smiling politely, clapping at the right moments, pretending the meaning behind it was not obvious. It would have been easy. That is the thing about being pushed aside in families. It is often quiet enough to tolerate. Instead, I walked back outside. No dramatic actions, no scene. I just kept walking past the entrance and toward the parking lot. The air smelled like cut grass and expensive perfume. By the time I reached my car, the music inside had already started. I sat there, my hands resting on the steering wheel, listening to the soft sound of the strings coming through the open doors of the venue. I was not angry. I was just tired of adjusting. 10 minutes later, my phone buzzed. First, a message from my cousin. "Where are you? They're about to do family photos." Then another message. "She's asking for you." I stared at the screen. A minute later, the venue doors opened and my sister stepped out. Even from across the parking lot, I could see something was wrong in the way she stood, the way her shoulders were tight under the lace. She walked quickly toward my car, lifting her dress a little so it would not touch the pavement. "What are you doing?" she demanded when she reached me. Her makeup was still perfect. Her voice was not. "I'm leaving," I said. "Over a seat?" she asked, shocked. "Are you serious right now?" "It was not just a seat. It's my wedding day." "I know." She looked over her shoulder toward the venue where guests were moving awkwardly inside. "They're waiting for you. The photographer already lined everyone up," she said. There it was, the real issue, the image. "I didn't want tension in the front rows," she continued, repeating what the maid of honor said. "You know how you can be." "How am I?" I asked quietly. She paused. "You make people uncomfortable." "With what?" She did not answer directly. "You're always judging," she finally said. "You don't blend in." Blend. I leaned back against the car door. "I came here to support you, but I'm not going to sit next to the restrooms so you can pretend we are closer than we really are." Her face became tight. "You're embarrassing me." I said nothing. "That's worse," she said sharply. "You disappearing makes it obvious." I let those words stay between us. I don't want to be obvious, I just don't want to be invisible. Her eyes filled with tears, then not with anger, but with frustration. "You couldn't just get through today." "I have gotten through many days." The music inside changed. Someone opened the doors again and looked outside carefully. "They're asking for you," the wedding coordinator called gently. My sister wiped under her eyes carefully, careful not to ruin her makeup. "Please," she said more softly now, Just come back in." For a moment, I almost did. Being close to someone is powerful, even when it hurts, but something inside me had already stepped away. "I left your gift on the cake table. I hope you like it." Her expression changed. First surprise, then calculation. "That's not the point," she said quickly. "I know." Silence stretched between us. "I didn't think it would matter to you," she finally admitted. "You always act like you don't care." "That doesn't mean I don't notice." She looked back toward the venue again. "They're going to start without you," she said quietly. "That's okay." She stood there for another moment, her dress moving slightly in the breeze, while the whole ceremony waited inside. Then she turned and walked back toward the doors. I watched her go back into the carefully prepared scene. I did not drive away right away. I sat there until the music started again and the doors closed completely. I don't know what she told them. Maybe she said I wasn't feeling well. Maybe she said nothing at all. But this is what I do know. For once, I chose not to sit where I was placed, and whether that changes anything between us, I'm not sure yet, but I will not be fine back there anymore.